Scot McCloughan said something recently that blew my mind. He said that Cameron Latu reminds him a lot of Tony Gonzalez. He told this to Matt Barrows and The Athletic. This is quite a compliment considering Tony Gonzalez is one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He was a first-round pick. He went to Cal. We all know Tony Gonzalez, and it made me, I was like, this is ridiculous. Cam Latu is slow. And then I looked up Tony Gonzalez. They said he ran a 4.83. I'm like, so I guess I shouldn't write off Cam Latu purely based on his 40-yard dash because there are similarities. I mean, he was a basketball player like Tony Gonzalez, and Tony Gonzalez won without speed as well. What do you think of this comparison?
I read it and I was like, wow, that's not what I thought.
Rich.
You know, the only way that you could say that is because he did have a good number of touchdown catches at Alabama while he was there. You know, like you said before the show, all he does is catch touchdowns, right? That's what for Cam Latu.
12 touchdown catches, like 56 career catches. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's, you know, it's an interesting one because I don't know what to make of Latu. This is a guy that was supposed to have gone in the 200s that they took at 101. Definitely they liked him. And McCloughan did talk about that he looks like a basketball player, the way he moves and the way he kind of those types of things. So, you know, I think with Gonzalez, he didn't have the speed, but he was a big threat in the red zone because he has that body, he has that body control, that ability to put himself between the defender and the ball. And maybe that's where he sees Latu being able to get to there. And then Latu, he did say that, you know, he's a work in progress when it comes to blocking, but you can see the progression there. So, you know, that puts a lot of pressure on Brian Fleury, right? That's the tight end coach for the 49ers. Puts a lot of pressure on him now to develop him.
Yeah. You got young Tony Gonzalez, buddy. Let's see it. No, the thing about Tony Gonzalez, I'm looking at his numbers. I mean, he averaged 11 yards a catch, so he wasn't burning people down the seam. But he had 111 touchdown catches in his 111 touchdown catches in his career. And it was funny. He played until he was 37, and he had 8 touchdown catches that year, and 8 the year before that, and 7 the year before. He was just a freaking machine. He probably ran a 5 flat when he was 37. But if you're that kind of player, I guess you can catch touchdown passes. And if, let's say Brock Purdy is the starting quarterback for the next 3-4 years, he'll have some limitations throwing the ball down the field, but in the red zone, he likes throwing to tight ends. You know he's really good in the red zone. This guy might be a key player. This guy might be drafted with Brock Purdy in mind.
Yeah, or he was drafted with Trey Lance in mind too, because Trey Lance was a big tight end guy when he was at North Dakota State. I mean, that is true. We've seen the 49ers have been very successful with Kyle Shanahan without the ability to really take the top off of defenses. Because of the running game opens up that middle of the field, and they're able to kind of still get those mid-level run after the catch throws across the middle and that kind of stuff. And so yeah, whether it's either of these guys, I'm going to stick with Brock Purdy here. But Brock Purdy working with a guy, if Cam Latu can be a Tony Gonzalez type, that plays right into his skill set. And I think that's the direction they're going to at the 49ers, right? They don't have a tight end behind George Kittle. So and we know Kyle Juszczyk's getting up there in age. So maybe the direction we're going to see is more 12 personnel from this team in the years to come. Probably not this year, but maybe next year.
It's so hard to find fullbacks. I would think possibly. Yep. Shaz DeGreat says dark horse is what you didn't see coming and what you simply didn't expect to prosper. Underdog, someone or something you see but underestimate. Okay. True. Well, dark horse is someone you don't see coming. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, and I think, well, and here's the thing though, with when it comes to Trey Lance, people are underestimating him big time, right? They are definitely underestimating him big time. So if you want to say in this scenario, Trey Lance, I think, is the underdog, and the dark horse would have been Brock Purdy, because you weren't expecting him to do anything. You didn't see anything coming with him, given this definition. You didn't expect anything from him last year when he stepped onto the field. I know I thought he played well during training camp and stuff, but when he stepped in against Miami, I wasn't expecting what we saw.
When you asked me which is the player to root for, I was going to say Alfredo Gutierrez, but you took it a different direction. I liked your answer better. But I'm still rooting for Alfredo. That would be the best story ever. Come on, buddy. Let's go Alfredo.
Starting right tackle, Alfredo Gutierrez.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic, yes.
I want to see that happen. Flave says Darnold is basically the same processor as Jimmy Garoppolo, but much better arm and mobility. Damn, Flave, you just jump off Jimmy like that? Now you're how you gonna do Jimmy like that, Flavie? That's your guy. Wow. I just can't see him being worse than Jimmy Garoppolo. And if that's true, then he's better than Trey and TBD with Purdy. Wow. He doesn't even he's what beyond Purdy to Darnold. Wow. Didn't see that coming.
Just kicked him to the curb when it comes to Garoppolo. Awful.
I have a childhood friend who lives around the corner from me, who's a big Raider fan, and he's amused by my Niners coverage. And he texted me the other day, and he's like, "Hey, does Sam Darnold have like an irrational group of mega fans like Jimmy G does, or is he not handsome enough?" And I was like, "I don't think he's handsome enough, but I guess I'm wrong.
Oh, we got Flavie here.
Here we are, Flavie. Sorry, Flavie. I love you, Flavie. He always donates. Well, I guess you have to. He has a lot to say, so that's why he donates $10. I guess it's by the word.
There you
I
go.
just thought it was generous. I don't know.